in the guy's face. Mm-hmm. I am not without influence and power.
But yeah, Vincent Price in this too, just fucking amazing performance.
Yeah, it didn't make my list, but like, because I only seen it once for the podcast or whatever. It's been on quite a few collections that I've had over the years in DVDs, but it didn't make my list. But I really wanted to because I do think it's a top 3 Vincent Price movie.
He's incredibly villainous in this one.
Yeah. But he orders the shit. He doesn't do it himself, but
he does it himself a little bit. Like I think he's the one that.
Well, he shoots the dude with the crossbow.
The dude with the crossbow,
like outside.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just like an utter sadist, and
he's kind of like, he has the ego of a prince. So like everything, he basically just lets everybody else do the dirty work.
Well, it's not only that, but like the film has a real satanic vibe too. Like he's a demonologist and a Satan worshiper, and like everything that he does is in the name of Satan. And like, God, the redheaded actress that's in this, I can't remember her name, but she brands an inverted cross into her breast and stuff. And I really like the satanic undertones of it. And
you would,
yep.
Lots of the set design is incredible, and all of the Vincent Price, Corman, Poe adaptations have a really psychedelic dream sequence, and this one has the coolest one.
Yeah, we mentioned that when we covered this movie.
Yeah, so I've covered this one before already.
So my number 10 is Psycho 1.
Nice.
I put Psycho 2 and Psycho 1 because they're like, on any given day, like I could like the other one better.
Arbogast.
But Janet Leigh's performance, like the driving sequence, like when she's like recalling, just imagine how hard it is to act with your face. She does it for like a good 5 minutes, like
just like showing the emotion. And...
Yeah, not looking at the camera, just like fucking thinking. Last time I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! I don't know what others like big roles she had. Like, other than this, I can't think of any.
She was in The Fog.
Oh, The Fog, with Jamie Lee Curtis, her daughter. Yeah. Just to do that just seemed like fucking... I couldn't do that. I mean...
I feel like someone was probably reading her dialogue to her during those...
Oh, probably.
Yeah, and she was...
And just those films...
But still, it's enough to, give you that facial...
Just those film shots back then, you knew, like, it was all fucking, like... She's just sitting in a fucking car and like
like rocking the car and
stuff.
Yeah.
And then the background is just like people driving around and stuff like that. But everything about that movie is like beautifully shot. And you said it's not even Hitchcock's best film.
I don't know. It's the highest one on my list, but I like Frenzy almost as much. Like I like Frenzy quite a bit.
You said it earlier. You didn't really care about the fucking subplot stuff that happened in the movie. But I like how it doesn't introduce Anthony Perkins till, I don't know, like fucking 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, so you're totally invested in, like, this girl who just embezzled money and trying to, like, escape. And, like, you kind of feel for her at the same time. Like, she is kind of a piece of shit.
And
like,
she's making dumb choices over and over again.
Yeah, but, like, just the introduction of her character and just, like, the whole fucking development of her, like, the fucking climactic scenes happen. Like, for me, anyways, I don't know. I feel for her, even though, I don't know, whatever.
No, yeah, sure. I mean, she's embezzled money from her job or whatever, but she's still a sympathetic character. It's not like she's without remorse or whatever.
Yeah, she's not like a piece of shit who's just some thief. Or
right.
So you do care.
She's doing it so that her
out
and her...
desperation.
Yeah, she's doing it so that her and her, like, secret lover can finally be together, legitimately or whatever. And literally, like, the only complaint I can make about the film is that the development of her sister and her sister's lover seems unnecessary.
I don't know. It just, like, shows more to her than just some fucking girl who's doing the wrong thing that she's not proud of, and, like, she's doing it out of
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about her sister and like, the two that come looking for her. Like, the amount of development that they get is a little bit...
I got you. Okay. Go ahead, Scott.
My number 10 is Halloween.
Go ahead, Randy.
So we can move on. We've talked a lot about that one.
Yeah, fuck that. Go ahead, Randy.
My number 9 is my favorite Argento film, Tenebrae.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Also, my favorite Giallo. Some of the most, like, savage and mean-spirited violence in Argento's filmography.
And some of his best camera work, too.
Yeah, and also, like... some of the best casting. A lot of the time, his movies aren't like cast terribly well or whatever, but
John Saxon.
That fucking that crane shot from the house.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
That nonstop crane shot.
Oh, it's so, and it goes pans right in, right where it's supposed to be, through the window.
Like I said, I think
the first time that I showed that to Scott, I was like, watch this scene,
and I was blown away,
dude. Yeah,
because like that, I noticed that in Sleepless, he tried kind of copying that style, but it was not to the effect because it was following the rug in the hotel room instead.
Oh yeah, that scene, yeah,
and that's all a part of Argento's Hitchcock obsession.
Yeah,
too.
So that cinematography made me like want to be a cinematographer, but I was already too old to even get into school for it when I watched it. But,
this is also my favorite Goblin theme.
This is
the main theme from Tenebrae.
This is what I was talking about earlier when you were mentioning Suspiria.
Yeah.
Goblin. This is my favorite sound score.
Overall, though, Suspiria. Maybe not the main theme, but
overall, I think Suspiria has more. But that main theme is incredible.
It's a cool mystery too. Like the twist at the end. I didn't see that coming at all. Like
I didn't see Deep Reds either, though. The mom, like I like, how are you supposed to do that?
Yeah, but that one was like
I don't know.
The Tenebrae twist was a lot more like they held the killer under your nose the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
like you could if you went back and watched it.
He didn't commit all of the murders, but he picked them up or whatever after he killed the killer.
Because like you could like rewatch it and just like see where that killer was the whole entire time.
The main star of that movie is that dog that jumps that fucking wall.
Right?
Holy fuck!
And the red heels, because that deep.
The axe to the head, dude. Towards the end.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking beautiful. Like
just
when he kills the
red
killer,
spray of blood and.
Dude, it looks so fluent and real. I don't know. I just fucking
the best, definitely the best murder sequences in any of Argento's films.
Yeah, it's a fucking phenomenal.
I don't
film.
know. I don't know how that was pulled off. There had to have been an edit at the last second or something to make it fluid like that with that fucking axe to the head.
The arm chop is
great.
One of the I think that might be like the best effect in the whole movie.
All right, so my next one, I don't know number
9.
9, Reanimator.
Nice.
1985. I had to put a fucking top 10 Stuart Gordon. He's my favorite director.
Understandable.
It's not like intentional, like I had to squeeze in there just to make sure Stuart Gordon's in my
list. It's a worthy one to have in the top 10.
Well, I mean, I have 2.
Yeah, I know.
But Reanimator would be a 10. Psycho's a 10. Psycho 2 is a 10. Day of the Dead's 9.75. So that's where my 10s start. You guys already mentioned Reanimator tonight, so we'll just go on to you because we're on a time constraint. Go ahead.
All right, my number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What?
Nothing. Go.
But just
what was a laugh for?
Right.
Did it not even make your list?
No, it's
Go ahead, Scott.
But it just this is one of those films that's just so goddamn fucking terrifying.
It's horrifying.
And it's during the day. Majority of it's during the day, and it's like not many horror films have that effect.
The only real night sequence is like
wheeling the fucking guy down
wheelchair, and like the.
That's the one I had to fucking stop when I was a kid. I couldn't do it when he went down the fucking when she was pushing him. I was like, nope.
Gritty and just nasty, and it's one of those films like I think we talked about it before, where it's like you feel it is like extremely gory, but there's like no gore whatsoever. Like in your mind, you can just like picture everything.
I think
the
Flesh Mask does the fucking thing why you think it would be super gory.
That and just like the realistic effect of the hammer hitting the head,
the meat hook stuff.
A lot of the set design, body parts, all about bones, arms on chairs and stuff.
Yeah, and then the fucking hit to the head with the hammer. That just like the way the body just drops and kind of twitches. It's just like fuck. Yeah, this movie is just a goddamn masterpiece.
All right, go ahead then, Randy.
So my number 8 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I just had this feeling that, like, when you made that laugh, that's probably why you did it.
Yeah, the iconic sequence when Kirk stumbles through the doorway and Leatherface appears with the sledgehammer, and then he slams the door.
Of the door, dude.
Yeah. The door slams, and there's that weird resonant tone that's like, and it's like terrifying. This could happen to you any day of the week if you are out of gas somewhere that you shouldn't fucking be.
That's what works in this entire franchise. Like, really, it's like people who are like part 3. It was just like fucking stopped at a gas station, crazy people. Then Ken Foree saves the day. It just can happen like in a deserted fucking highway or road or something.
That's what makes Texas Chainsaw Massacre legitimately frightening film is that it's entirely plausible.
Yep.
The score is really, I love like the weird like minimalist score that's just a lot of like percussive stuff and like jarring tones and shit, and just like the weird random dialogue, like the drunk guy in the cemetery that's like just laying there with the bottle, like EC and old man, like like I could sit here all night talking about why I like Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, me too.
It's a fucking fantastic film.
All right, next one for me. I'm glad that Scott didn't pick it first because we want to do an episode on this, but The Witch.
Yep.
Wow.
Like the best performances in
Really
any
like
horror
it,
movie
The
I
Witch.
could fucking imagine since a classic. I don't know, like it's performance driven and a lot of people hate it, and I get it, and like whoever's listening right now don't agree with me and they hated The Witch. Just watch it again for the performances. Don't watch it for the fucking scares. Watch it as in that situation.
Right, and if you're having an issue because you just can't understand it, put the subtitles on.
Yeah. That helps. That helps a lot.
If it
dude.
really, like, because I didn't need it, but I know people that would need it to help.
But the dad, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he hasn't really been in anything much. He was in The Office, the British version, and he was like a comedic actor, and he comes over and does this movie, like a serious fucking role. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I think this is probably the best acted fucking horror film of all time. It's not my fucking number one.
Yeah, I'll say I can't argue that. Like the performance.
I'm
I'm sure
the
that-
acting
okay, I'm
is
sure-
all really, really great.
I'm sure it can be matched by other horror movies, but like it's right there as the top for me.
The atmosphere is really great. I can relate to the whole crazy religious family, like
but this is
turning on
Puritan shit, dude, and that's way more fucking nuts. That's like super Old Testament shit.
Yeah, and just like the whole period piece for this is just fucking beautiful and perfect for this setting.
Yeah, Gothic era is like 17, 1800s,
Yeah,
1600s.
This is
right in there. It's like the way the
And this is one of those other horror films that doesn't have to rely on a ton of gore
but this is
or
like
anything like that.
This is like poor people in the Gothic era, which usually Gothic horror is like ritzy.
I wouldn't even call this Gothic, really.
No, this is like
Colonial times.
1800s.
Yeah.
No, 1600s, right?
No, yeah, it's 1600s, but it would be colonial times. Gothic was more like...
Well, Gothic is more of a style than an era.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fucking. Usually, a Gothic horror is like ritzy
In a
and
castle.
Yeah. It's rich people.
The religious message that this one sends is, I don't know, it shares a lot of properties with one of my upcoming films.
Yeah, it's the 1600s. All right, well, I'd love to fucking talk about this more, but go ahead, Scott. We're running out of time here.
All right, my number 8 is Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Nope.
Fucking,
Didn't even make my list.
I don't think, it didn't make
I
sense.
just love this one. This is where Ash becomes the character that he truly is.
I
And-
guess so. I mean,
he was
Ash versus Evil Dead is like
Pretty
because
much
of
like-
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Evil Dead, like, he was forced to, fend off, but he wasn't I wouldn't even call him a hero in Evil Dead.
Greg Nicotero said something really cool on one of the special features, like the fucking headless corpse with a chainsaw. He's like, during writing, he's like, this is gonna be fucking terrifying. And then when they actually finished product, he's like, it feels like the Muppets. It wasn't fucking scary at all. But when they had that in mind, they were gonna fucking make it terrifying. But yeah, it looked fucking.
It's
Then
silly.
This movie takes like a hard right turn.
Yeah.
Evil Dead is very terrifying and visceral and like mean spirited.
It's the first sequel that's a remake.
Yeah, the first like 15-20 minutes are.
And Bridget Fonda's his girlfriend.
Yep, and this one, this is where they take the comedic tone and just like amp it up. Nothing to where it's like in Army of Darkness, obviously, but like they go all out with like the over the top blood. And,
I don't think I can watch Army of Darkness ever again.
I don't want to.
yeah, Army of Darkness is definitely my least favorite.
There's nothing
of the
I'm
three.
going to find in it that I would like, oh shit, this is actually cool. I'm not going to find something I love in it.
No, but I'll say like the only thing I'd love in Army of Darkness is Bruce Campbell, and that's just it's okay. But like Evil Dead 2, I love his performance because he's starting to show the signs of that reluctant hero where he's just kind of like all about saving himself after everything happens with his
Yeah, he's
girlfriend.
selfish as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
And I love that
That's
about
what
him in
Ash-
this character, and because he didn't have that in Evil Dead 1.
No, Ash versus Evil Dead.
He's so fucking selfish.
dude. But I'd like that way better than Evil Dead 2. I don't know. I just as a whole, like I would, if I want to see Ash ham it up, I would watch that over Evil Dead 2. But I'm not going to watch Army of Darkness again because I don't like it.
But I mean, this one also is the iconic film where he gets his chainsaw hand, and he just I love